You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello, Polished Women. Good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. once again, and it's Polished Woman time. So today, I know this is a very I know that this is a very heartfelt, conversation, and it's about healing family wounds. But before that, the bond between a mother and her child can be one of the strongest bonds there is. But that doesn't mean that it's above being tested. Sometimes there are situations when children feel like they can't speak to their parents or turn to them, and sometimes there are times when parents are at loss on how to connect with their children. This happened to me a couple of times. I have two girls, so when this happens, it's possible for a relationship to become strained and even strange for some time. But I'm pretty okay with my kids. So I forgot to promote our last week's guest, Dr. Carla Manley. I forgot to promote her book, and she has her book, Joy from Fear. She's amazing. I learned so much from her. Joy from Fear, and another one is Aging Joyfully. We're gonna have her again. I love her. I've learned so much from the 30-minute show, right, Max? Oh my gosh.
Get the books.
Get the books. Okay, and our guest for today from our far left is Victoria Baclan.
Thank you.
And then that's the daughter of our beautiful mom here. How do you say Suzanne Avestisora, right?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Whatever you say is good.
She's so cute. So I've known them actually way back when Brianna and Victoria used to do a theater
together.
with my best friend Joanne Mosconi, and now she's Joanne Piano.
Yeah.
And and I've known Susanna for like a long time. I think 11 years, right? And look at her, they're all grown up. Brianna was only like 5 or 6 years old, and I have seen you. I have seen you, Suzanne.
You look better now.
Oh,
sorry. I mean, before you was good, beautiful. Now you're more beautiful.
Oh, you're so cute. But I have seen you, Susanna, from that time when we were just starting, and you were like, I don't know, 7, 6 years old, 8.
Yeah.
You every day you were taking, Victoria to the, to the play, to the theater every single day, and and at the same time she was working. So. First, I'd like to start with you, Mom. Can you give us a little background on what your relationship like with your daughter before she became now? How was your relationship with her?
It was really good. I mean, we love each other too much. She named me Cute Bunny because I was a little bit not skinny. So even one time she make a count on that Cute Bunny,
Skype.
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 Yeah.
So I can find boyfriend. When she was 10. Yeah.
We were very close.
She said you have to spend time for yourself too because you're always with me.
Okay.
We're always together. She always talked to me and she tell me everything.
So
she was open to me.
You're very open with each
other.
Yeah,
very.
Suzanne, you basically sacrificed your everything in your life, with your life, your love life, everything for her, right?
Yes.
And how are you appreciating this? I mean, what did you do for her after all the things that she has done for you?
Well, she really put everything on the line for me, and she really sacrificed it. And so in the beginning of our relationship, like when I was younger, we had a very close and tight bond because it was just me and her. Mm-hmm. And so I think after, when I reached my teenage years, it was that moment when I wanted independence and I wanted freedom. And since we had that such a close bond, it was hard for us to for me to communicate my boundaries. So I would say that during my teenage years, it was really hard for me to show that appreciation back because we were just struggling trying to find a way to communicate.
Yeah.
So I would say now...
And that's normal.
Yeah.
We all went through that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say now, after going through it and like there was so many hard times.
Can
but
you like tell us like an example so that
Yeah,
whoever who's
okay.
watching right now
Yeah.
who's been through
Mhm.
that situation?
So, like, since we were just mother and daughter, it was just, it's not like I had a bunch of siblings. And
So it's just really the two
yeah,
of you, right?
she was really, like, strict. So I couldn't, like, go out late. She was really worried about that. She really wanted to know who all my friends were because she knew about them when I was younger. So now that I was older and wanted to do my thing, it was harder to, like, for her to accept it. So I was, like, reaching being 17 years old, and I wanted to, go out. And it was hard because she would take me everywhere. And so I kind of, like, had my family members, like, persuade her to get me a car. And, like, it was really hard.
Yeah,
like, it took
yeah,
a
I
long
know that story,
time.
yeah.
Like, it took a lot of, like, talking sweet to her, and, like, it took a very long time. But then I got my car. But at the same time, like, she was very strict with my curfew and all that stuff. So I just, like, we just kept arguing consistently.
Consistently.
Yeah, like, when I was 17, it would be, I would come from school or, like, college, because I was doing part-time school in college. And she was just anxious about my whereabouts and stuff like that. And I got into a serious relationship. So that made her even more worried because, she wants to hold me so close. But here I am, like, starting a new relationship and, all that comes with it.
But is there any reason, Susanna, that why you became so strict to Victoria? Is there any reason at all that, because there will always be a reason, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The reason is because she like could go somewhere. She didn't tell me with who she gonna meet.
Yes,
If
of
you
course.
meet
and we were just
someone on-
discussing
Yeah.
that last week.
If you meet
right?
someone on internet,
Yes,
at
that's
least you have
true.
to tell me. I am not against. I don't have any prejudice about religion, anything.
Yes.
So I don't care with who she meets, but I have to know. And also she could go like nighttime after 8, or she was like sneaking.
Sneaky.
Yeah,
yes,
so I
yes.
wake up, I see door is open, and
Yeah.
I can see she run. So
Because I would
So it
pretend
was-
that I was sleeping in
Yeah.
my bed. And
yeah,
I would
it's
sleep.
like you can have heart attack.
Yeah.
Because nowadays is really difficult. So basically, if she has boyfriend, usually they ask me, can we
Yes.
go out
Yes.
with Victoria? They even bring her flowers,
Yes.
even for me.
Yes.
So it was normal in our culture. You have to, if you meet girl, but this time was a little bit different. This,
Yes.
I don't say he's bad or good, but he doesn't have this culture to take care of girl like nicely in
Yes.
our way.
Yes.
It still doesn't matter. I was agree she meet with this guy, but sometimes she was like, I don't want to. She choose me, but I want to be open with me. And still, if you meet someone, doesn't mean you have to be against your mom. This guy has to love your mom too, because I never say, oh, his mom is no good or his dad is no good. Even maybe they do mistake. I say you have to solve this problem with your dad or with your mom, but I never say they are bad.
Yes.
But in our situation, maybe it's in my opinion, it's a little bit different. That's why I worry.
Okay.
I worry if because she always was under my control. Now she could be under another people's control, which
Yes.
maybe is not good sometimes.
Was there anything, Susanna, in your life that happened to you, that made you become like this, very controlling with
Is Victoria?
Victoria?
I don't know. Maybe because my mama was controlling until I was 30 and more.
Yes.
I stay with her because my dad died, and I could live separately. I work, but she said, "Oh, you're gonna leave me alone because my boys are married, and you're gonna be alone without me." So I stay with her. She
Yes.
didn't care about me,
Yeah.
but I have to stay with her and respect her and do whatever. So then, at 40, I found guy, and 42, I gave birth to Victoria.
I know.
And-
That's crazy.
And of course, I worry if you see this news and everything. You get crazy.
And I think, Victoria, you understand, right? I mean, I'm a mom too, and you know, my kids did the same thing, you know, but now they're like all good. But you know, I have Brianna right now who's going through that stage, what you're going through. So I totally understand, you know, your mom, and I totally understand, you know, what you know you're going through as well. But was there any situation in your life for the past years that you've been through, and that was the reason why you're kind of how do you say this? What is that word, Max? That you're not really that rebelling. Is that the right word? Yeah, from your mother. Was there anything that happened to you
Like why
that
I
you wanna
rebelled?
share? And yeah,
Honestly, like after when you've been like suppressed for such a long time, or when you know your mom is like super strict, I'm not saying it's bad, but you definitely want to have like that taste of like, you know, I would just start to compare myself to other kids and other people my age, and like I would ask them like, oh, is your mom okay with you going out this time, or is your mom okay with you like driving here and there? And then they'd be like, yeah. And then they'd be like, what about you? And I'm like, oh no, like, you know, my mom's a little strict, blah blah. So it would just, you know, make me feel a little self-conscious. And so I think, you know, that combined with me wanting to have, you know, my own life, it just pushed me to be a little more rebellious.
yeah. So is there anything that you're doing right now to at least appease her and you know, because she did so much for you, right? Is there anything that you wanna share with her and do for her?
Well, I just want to appreciate you, and I just want to thank you for everything that you did for me. Because, I mean, we really, like, looking back at it, we really did go through a lot of hard times, and we just had each other. And, you know, now that I'm older, I realize at the end of the day, there's going to be friends, there's going to be, like, there's been boyfriends, there's been a lot of things, but at the end of the day, the only person who will really accept you for who you are and accept your flaws and just, like, you know, someone's child could be a murderer and they're going to still love that kid because they raised them, and that's their blood. And at the end of the day, my mom raised me. She did so much for me, and there's no one else that's gonna have that spot. So I really appreciate her.
Is there any support that you got from anybody while you're raising Victoria? Was there any?
Not really.
I know
It
her.
was hard.
It was all her.
But I have good friends who like, for example, Joanne, you supporting me.
Yeah.
I mean, even with words, and Joanne even give her classes, was not taking money from me because I was like working. I tried to work as a manager of building apart to stay with her, so she doesn't have this anxiety, like separation, because she almost has it. So I have to change my job to stay with her more. So I would like she spend more time now with me. Sometimes she is not at home, but I.
But what is the situation now? Are you guys living together? Are you living somewhere else, or?
So once I turned 18, that was pretty much like the hardest times because like it was just, I didn't feel like I had like certain things that people who turn that age have. Like I didn't feel like I had that freedom. I still felt like I had the same limitations as my 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
So like surprisingly, I just one day we had a really big argument. There was a lot of things like involved, and it was just crazy, and that was the day that I moved out.
Okay.
And I started living with my boyfriend, so ever since then I've been living with him. And
Do you like this, that she's living with a
She
boy?
never sleep in my house anymore. And before she take piano classes, opera voice classes, and all day I hear this music. And now nobody open my door. And when I come home, I am alone.
oh my God.
Do you visit her?
Yeah.
Once a while, 2 hours.
Oh.
Really?
It's not funny, really. I don't have friends because I spend all my time with her. I didn't have time for friends to go, boyfriends, because I know boyfriends not gonna like, not everybody, but it's gonna be hard for them to love me and my child.
Yes.
So she doesn't understand what I feel.
But are you? But you've told me, right, that you don't want to depend. I know that you're living with your boyfriend
Yeah.
now, but you told me that you don't want it you don't want, because you've seen it from your mom,
Yeah.
that you don't want to depend from any man, right?
Yeah.
Any guy that will come in your way, and you wanna
Yeah.
be independent and really live, you know.
I think there's a difference like between helping each other
Yeah.
and having someone who's like, just, you know, there to help you, but I'm not really dependent. I still work. I have 2 jobs, to be honest.
That's
right now.
good.
Like, I work a regular job and also I do modeling, and I'm trying to reach my goals. So
In school
I
also.
definitely, yeah, in school, and I definitely don't really depend on anyone. But I will say that he does help me a lot and support me,
Yeah.
but not monetarily.
Yeah. But you understand, I mean, Victoria, you understand what she feels, right?
Yeah, I totally do.
Yeah.
I think after it, like, at first it was just like, oh, I want to be like myself, I want to be free, blah, blah. But after I realized where she's coming from, and just, you know, I understand, like, that it wasn't the best way to go about it. You know, if I wanted to move out, there could have been a better way or a talk, but it just didn't seem possible at that time. But now I'm just trying to like rekindle that relationship, and just slowly I just most importantly, I just want to have good communication, because I think that's where it starts from.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
what the problem between the two of you is really communicating
Yeah.
with each other on how you really feel. I know, Victoria, because you work so hard all your life for her. But then again, at the same time with her, she needs to find herself, right, Victoria? You need to find yourself. You need to find she wants to reach some goal, you know, for herself as well. Because I know that when you turn 18, I have kids like, you know, like who went through, you know, that age, and I know that, you know, we are, you know, I know what you want to do. I know that my daughter left as well when she
I
was
know. Oh my
18.
God.
Same.
And but you know, I don't want you to also neglect your mom, because you know she really worked hard for you. So I love this. I love this, and I know that I don't want to. What do you call that? I don't want to stop this, and I want to continue next week with you again, and with
Okay.
a doctor. I want to invite Dr. Carla to come with us, and if that's okay, and we will continue this. This conversation with Dr. Carla, and I hope you stay tuned next week with Dr. Carla and Victoria and her mom, because you know I'm sure that a lot of you guys are going through the same situation. I went through that with my daughter and my son, and I cried, I think, for so many weeks. And I'm so glad that Victoria is so open, and she, you know, she said what's in her heart, and I'm so glad that all, you know, Susanna, you also opened your heart to everyone. And I know there's a lot of mom and, you know, daughter out there who can be inspired by this, and I hope that we will get something out of Dr. Carla, and I'm sure she's so good. You have to see her next week. Stay tuned, you guys, and any parent will tell you that there's no easy way to parent, but you know, but I also think that we can all agree that it's important to find ways to communicate and to connect with our children. So next week, tune in again, and we will have Dr. Carla with Suzanne and Victoria. Thank you so much. And don't forget to give love to the next person that you see after watching the show. See you next week.
You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.